Hi, welcome to Pursuit of Truth. It is the 26th of September 2018. I was just thinking about the idea of how we argue with each other, how we have disagreements, how we find faults with each other. Because I was thinking about how we all like to enforce our own understanding of truth. You know, classic example would be flat earther versus globe. You know, when they start talking to each other, they'll both be enforcing their own view, and they won't, they'll be very closed-minded. And I'm just wondering why are we like this? Why aren't we open-minded? As we know, through life, our mind changes through time and location and understanding. You know, the thoughts that we have 20 years ago will not be the same thoughts that we have now. We're always adapting. So I was wondering, why do we have that sort of negative approach to when someone says something that is against our own, as it were, belief or understanding? Because we all do it. Even I do it. You know, when I hear, I'll hear certain people on YouTube who I like and watch, and who will say things that, I think, whoa, why are they saying it like that? And what, no, and, I'll get sort of triggered a little bit. And so I was just wondering, why is it we do that? And the other thing is that also when we, as humans, maybe it's human failings and characteristics. Now, maybe these are things that we've been taught, because everything that we know, every way we think is taught. But and the divide between what is us really and what is the taught part of us, I don't really know. Or it may be that it's it's a DNA genetic part of us that we can't help ourselves. In the sense that we also will get very authoritative. Is that such a word? We'll speak with authority of our understanding, even sometimes without having the facts, knowledge, or backing of the things that we're convinced upon. That we will argue with authority. And I hear that on YouTube as well, that there's people that are talking about flat earth and talking about sort of open-mindedness and sort of exploring and admitting that they don't know the truth, and that it's all about exploring it and finding it, but yet having an authoritative type of sound to the things that they say, and sort of not gatekeeping or guiding, but sort of it's very fierce. And I don't understand sometimes why people get like that. And I'm sure, if I had an argument with someone, I'm sure I'd fall into the same failings. I would be sort of arguing, no, what about this, what about that? And, the more it goes on, the more heated you become. So maybe it's just a human characteristic that some people exhibit more than others. So sometimes we do judge people on these things, whereas they're just things that we all do. That was another thing I was thinking about. It goes upon a poem that I wrote recently, about the idea of how we judge people for their failings, and we often make the same failings. You get people, like I see lots of videos on YouTube where people will analyse other people's stuff, and they'd be picking out points, or this person's done this person's done that, and yet you could find the same person do the same thing. Sometimes the people even do it in the same sentence. They will accuse someone of something and actually do the same thing without realising. We all do that. So to pick points on people and to judge them is sometimes, it can be like, well, wait a minute, we're all human, we're all fallible. It's like with Steve H. Fee's logical fallacies. When he goes through all of them, they're brilliant. But the thing is, I don't think it would be very difficult to have conversations, especially about things that we don't have full grasp of things, without actually using some of these fallacies by mistake. It's brilliant to know them. I love all the different things, but I know if you went through, I'm like, I consider myself a genuine person who's not trying to mislead or lie or whatever. But I'm sure if I actually went through these podcasts, I would find so many fallacies that I've said. I mean, I expect the most one would be like, you know, when I extremify things. I don't know what the fallacy name for that is, but you know, saying things without actually really having the backing of them. I mean, that's sort of a poetic thing that I tend to fall back on. But yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say really, is that how we tend to attack people, we tend to hold our views as close to our chest, and it's very difficult for us to then let go of them or to entertain alternative views. And sometimes I think flat earthers, truthers, whatever you want to call us, even globers, you know, that we don't understand that, and we hold people to, you know, without realising that we actually all have that failing. And at some point we all did, and at some point we still will have. No matter how much truth you understand, we'll all still be human. And if it is a human trait that we have these failings, then we'll always have them. There's nothing to do about them. If it's something that is to do with how we're taught at school and by people, and that you could teach people not to do these things, then obviously we can change that. But yeah, that's enough for me today. Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.